Like I said before, you have nothing to lose. You have minimal investment in this, right? Fast acceleration means less investment. So
that's true. That's why I wanted to do this right away. Exactly right.
You're not meeting her in Utah, right? There's some side benefits to going to San Francisco. If she's lame,
absolutely.
If the left side of her face is, chewed away by moles, then,
Which, incidentally, the specific reason that he brought that up is that's part of our theory on internet dating sites, that as soon as you see only one picture on a profile, and that picture is a profile, i.e. the side of somebody's face, that means they're a burn victim.
It's the only interpretation, right?
It's like, I will not show you the side of my face because I'm horribly deformed. This is all true, and it's true. It is true.
So if the left side of her face has been chewed away by moles over a long period of time from sleeping on the ground, then you can just hang out with me more. We can play FIFA. We can play MVP baseball. It'll be great. Okay? Play some poker.
So, like, if she was in a POW camp and they attached a burlap sack to the side of her face, and two moles who will live forever.
Yes.
Bring out the immortal moles.
You people are the weirdest people who've ever lived. There's no question about it. Bring forth the immortal moles! They are blind but deadly!
Exactly, but again...
Your face will feed them for 1,000 years, you fool.
That doesn't include the Geneva Convention. That's too
slowly.
horrible.
They're light eaters. If they ate more
They're
heavily,
like
it would only be 5 weeks.
The pit of Sarlacc. You will be digested slowly over 1,000 years. That doesn't sound so bad.
Right. And, maybe you talk to her first, because that sounds like an interesting experience, and you can clearly bring it up on next week's show. But yeah, you've got a backup plan. You're not going to Gitmo or Utah or some other unlivable place. You're going to San Francisco, where it's fun to see.
Please meet me in my home. I live in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, United States. Whoa! I hope she's a guard. That's best case scenario.
Exactly.
She's a torturous guard. That's as good as it's going to get.
I think that's actually worse. I think it's better if she's on a hunger strike. But anyway.
She's actually a mole trainer, not a mole. She's a mole trainer. She trains them for deadly work. Well, dogs are right out, but nobody ever suspects moles. All right, moles, go forth. No civil rights for you.
Bring forth the immortal face cheese paste for the immortal face of the immortal moles to chew on forever.
Exactly. She trains
the immortal cheese whiz
on her own face.
Did you know the Vietnamese have actually invented a cheese whiz that lasts about 1,000 years? Oh, maybe this is regular cheese whiz. That's just ordinary cheese whiz. Never mind.
I was going to say. Oh, goodness.
Hello.
Goodness.
Okay. Now, look.
So the investment's minimal. You have backups. Yeah, I wasn't... Strangely, I didn't just want to talk about moles for 5 minutes, but, that's good.
Moles.
Giving you advice.
And then the next show is going to be like, the left side of her face was covered in moles. It was the worst irony ever.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, dude, that is so not your joke. Of the three of us, you were the last person who made that joke.
I'm sorry. Tremendous. I waited. I tried. I waited.
It's true.
Didn't
that was
happen.
great. You gave us every opportunity.
Yeah.
Right. So... No, I think it was, so the time investment's minimal. You have, that was the other thing. Oh, my gosh. You have the even number principle on your side.
It's true.
That is the boon of all things.
This is the analysis I was looking for. That's the point I was waiting for.
Yes,
thank you.
That's why the world is a grapefruit. Okay, have I never explained to you the even number principle, Greg? Because this is one of the top 5 theories of life ever.
Oh,
okay?
wow.
If you want your world to be a grapefruit, get out a pad and paper and start writing.
I'm ready.
Pad and paper. How about a pad of paper?
I'm all set.
And a pen.
All right.
And
it's very zen-like.
Okay.
Just a pad and paper, and you'll will your thoughts onto it.
This is not something to do. This is not something to pursue. This is just true. This is just something that is true about the world around you. But once you understand it, the world around you gets a lot better and a lot easier.
And the label for this is even number principle. I want to make sure so our listeners know. Even number principle.
Okay.
Even number principle.
Write this down. Even number principle. Right?
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay. So,
step 1.
The even number principle states that you can only have an even number of active and viable love interests in your life at a given time. The even number principle does fade when you've found the one and you're working towards marriage. But that is the first time in my life that I think it ever faded. And that's scary. That's really frightening. Because before that, it haunted my life. And the even number principle, the even numbers that are most active in this case, although I would add not the only even numbers that can take place, are 0 and 2. So most of the time, you go through life and 0 people are interested in you, and you have 0 active, viable love interests. However, almost immediately, the universe will give you 2 active, viable love interests. You will not stay on one for any quantifiable time. You maybe 16 hours tops, and then you will have 2. Suddenly, at the same time, some would argue because the confidence that you exude from having one just attracts people magnetically to you, even if it's in 6 hours, and then suddenly people are throwing themselves at your feet. Some would argue it ignites jealousy. Who knows what happens? Who knows why the universe works in a strange way?
Maybe you've locked 2 women in your basement for a 6-month period, and 6 months has come up for each one at about the same time, and so they both fall in love with you, as they well should after a certain amount of time.
Stockholm Syndrome has to kick in sometime.
Yes,
just ask the girl in Gitmo. So, at some point...
Send forth the moles. 2 of them. Only 2 moles. Or 0 moles. Otherwise, there's nothing.
Right. Oh, God.
Even-numbered principle of face-eating moles.
Oh, God.
Roman numeral.
No, not 5 moles. 6 moles, idiot. 6 or 8.
King Arthur.
And this is just true. And usually the backslap of the even number principle is that the way in which you navigate the situation of having 2 takes you right back to 0. You skip 1 and go straight back down to 0. And this is the even number principle. Sometimes it may jump to 4. Things can go a little crazy, go a little haywire, but mostly it's 0 and 2.
4.
Occasionally 4. You will never have 1. You will never have 3. It just doesn't happen. And understanding this and knowing how critical it is to navigate 2 properly and not squander 2 and try to get to 1 and outwit the even number principle. I mean, that's half of life. That's so much of the mission of life. But the universe wants you to be with either 0 or 2. That's just what they want.
I see.
And
very interesting.
And you right now have just crossed the threshold with the things that I've heard about this elevator girl.
Yeah.
You might want to fill in our listeners. But you've just crossed the threshold, sir. You've just gone from 0 to 2, especially with her coming to San Francisco.
Jesus.
And then they're both like...
Anyone who is an affiliate of either one of these girls is obviously going to shoot me in the face as soon as I explain what's going on with the other one. But that's already obviously passed. That time has passed. I've already been shot in the face. This is the future. I'm listening to myself with a mangled face next to the mole people
principles.
in a hospital somewhere.
Russ remembers the time before
moles.
moles. Back in the days before moles existed. Yes,
Blame the giant flying beaver.
The man with no face next to the women,
road
the mole women.
Okay. Creating this reality.